Hello, this is SparcMan. Alright, just want to do a quick overview of the changes that were made in the Minecraft Beta Update 1.2. There were several updates made, a lot of new changes, a lot of cool stuff added. There's probably some things that a lot of people missed or don't fully understand, so I'm just going to run through it and give you a brief intro of what we have added to the game. All right, here we go. What we have here is the new Lapis Lazuli ore. This is located in the about the same. It's in the same ranges as gold as far as the depth where you find it. You need I believe, a stone or better pickaxe to get it. Even though I'm using a diamond here, and when you mine it, it's like diamond. You get the resource directly, just like that, and it's very, very rare, at least so far. About as rare as diamond, maybe even a little more. I've had a hard time actually finding it in the game. We have new tree types. These birch type trees. They yield a different type of wood, this light colored wood. However, it works the same as regular wood. We also have a darker wood. It's like supposed to be like a pine. We also have different shaped trees, and the leaves are different as well. We have different textures for some of the leaves, so that's new. But other than the shape of the trees and the coloration, it's pretty much the same as far as functionality goes. And yay, look at pumpkins over there. Alright, we have a new awesome water mob. It's these squids. They live under the water. They are not harmful. Let me go up for a breath of air. And when we kill them, they yield ink sacs. There's one in my inventory there. I think they yield 1 to 3 usually. And so yeah, they can be used for coloring wool and coloring sheep, which we'll get to later. Well, our sheep have been upgraded. In addition to our standard white sheep like this, we also now have black sheep and gray sheep. And when we hit those sheep, we get the wool of that color. We also have the ability to apply dyes directly to the sheep. And we'll go over that later. Get this one too. There we go. So if we look, we've got black wool, gray wool, and regular wool. And there's also light gray as well, which I didn't see any light gray sheep. I guess they're kind of rare. Alright, well, spawners were changed back to the way they used to be, so that you see a little spinning version of the creature that they spawn inside of them, which spins faster and faster as it's about to spawn. This is actually a hacked-in sheep spawner. You can't find these normally in the game. Normally you find spider spawners and skeletons and zombie spawners, but never sheep spawners. This was clearly edited in. But it works the same. You have a little spinning creature inside the middle. And watch out, because spiders now have the ability to climb walls. Here he comes. Come on. Yeah. Come after me. Let's see if he'll climb up. Almost. He can't seem to get up there. There he goes. I think they can't climb glass. Since I've got some glass windows, he can't get up there all the way. There he is. Haha. Yeah, so beware of that. Watch out for them spiders. That does include the skeleton riders that ride on spiders. They'll be able to climb up walls and shoot at you too, so beware of that. One of the new items that we have is bones. Bones are dropped by skeletons in addition to arrows. When we stick the bone, when we craft the bone, we get 3 pieces of bone meal per bone. Alright, we'll go ahead and make a couple of those. And what bone meal is good for? It's good for a fertilizer, And it's also good for dyes, for coloring wool, which we'll look at in a bit. Alright, so if we take a look, let's get some seeds. We'll plant them here. We'll just make some seeds, or make some, alright, and then we stick the fertilizer on it. Bam. It just instantly grows to wheat. And it's ready to harvest. Awesome. Alright. The other thing it's good for is for trees. So we stick a sapling down, no longer have to sit around waiting for a tree to grow. Bam! Instant tree. Awesome. Okay, we now have the ability to take a wood log and put it into a furnace, and it will smelt it into, ta-da, a charcoal. A piece of charcoal is functionally equivalent to a piece of coal, so you no longer need to mine coal to get your torches for your first night. You can create charcoal. Charcoal can also be used as fuel in the furnace, and you can even make more charcoal out of that. There you go. Charcoal cannot be stacked with coal either. Alright, one of our new items is actually not a new item at all. It's the reeds have been turned into sugar canes, but we can now craft them into sugar. Sugar is used in creating cakes, which is made from 3 buckets of milk, which we already had, actually. And let's see. I had forgotten the eggs. And also 1 egg and 3 pieces of wheat, and it's 2 pieces of sugar. Alright, and that gives us a cake. Okay, and it leaves us the 3 buckets. Okay, and then we have a cake. The way the cake is used is you set it down on the ground, and it heals 1.5 hearts each time you use it. Use it by left clicking on it. Right now it's not doing anything because I don't need any health. And you can use it up to, let's see, I think it's 6 times total. So, yeah, so it gives you, I believe, 9 hearts total, I think that it was. Someone else check my math, but yeah. So that's a pretty cool new item. Okay, we have note blocks, which are crafted with 8 wooden planks and a redstone in the middle. Gives you a note block. Looks almost the same as a music box, except the top matches with the sides. Alright, so what we do with the music block, pretty cool. You place them down. Depending on the type of material you put them on, indicates the instrument. So we have wood items is a double bass. And it doesn't matter whether we put a log on a log or on a wood plank. Okay. Let's see. Glass and let's see. Glass and glowstone gives you click noises. And what I'm doing is left clicking on it, by the way. If you right click on it, it changes the note. And then when you left click on it, it continues to play the same note. Okay. Sand and gravel and the soul sand or whatever gives you a snare drum sound. Stone gives you a what is it? Yeah, bass drum. Dirt and other blocks give you a harp. It can be activated using redstone, like so. You can set your note by right-clicking on it, and then use redstone, and it will play the same note. All right, so that's note blocks. Alright, another new item we have is the dispenser. Dispenser is crafted like so, making like an arch of cobblestone with a bow in the middle, redstone underneath it. You can use it for traps. It will fire certain items and other items. Oh, gotta hurry, it's getting dark. Other items, it just shoots them out. So if we put arrows in there, it is an item that's activated only through redstone. And you right click on it, it gives you an inventory. If you put more than one type of item, it will pick one at random. But if you see like arrows, it will fire arrows. If we put snowballs in there, it will fire snowballs. If we put eggs in there, it will fire eggs. Okay, and if we put, oh yeah, and the other thing is, you still have a chance of generating a chicken just like if you were throwing eggs. Although it doesn't want to show it to me this time for some reason. Oh well. And if you put in some other type of item, it will just drop it on the ground like so. If you shoot arrows, you unfortunately cannot pick them up. These arrows are disappearing because their time is expired or whatever. Alright, and that's the dispenser. One of the new craftable items is the sandstone. You create it with 4 blocks of sand, so you can do this in your inventory crafting square. Sandstone is, I guess it's similar to sand in a lot of ways, except it does not follow the normal rules of gravity like sand does. And also you need a pickaxe to break it. If you break it by hand, you get nothing back. Alright, and just like iron, gold, diamonds, we can craft this new lapis lazuli. 9 of them crafts into a single lapis lazuli block, not the same as the ore, which can be placed and then mined back and pick it up and craft it back into 9 lapis lazuli pieces. Alright, so on to colors. So by putting 2 pieces of bone meal with an ink sac, you get light gray dye. With an ink sac and 1 bit of bone meal, you get regular gray dye. One of these little red flowers, rose, gives you rose red. One of these little yellow flowers gives you dandelion yellow. Red dye and yellow dye together give you orange dye. Combining the cactus green with bone meal gives you lime dye. Combining the green with the lapis gives you cayenne dye. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Combining the lapis with the bone meal gives you light blue dye. Combining the lapis with the red gives you purple dye. Combining the red with the bone meal gives you pink dye. Combining pink and purple gives you magenta dye. Subscribe. There's also cocoa beans, which can be used as a brown dye. It has not yet been added to the game, or I should say there's no way to obtain it in-game. This was actually edited in, but when it is added, you will be able to use that as a brown dye. To apply dye to a wool, you just put the dye, whatever the dye color is, with a piece of white wool. Note that it does not work with already colored wool. You have to use white wool. And you can combine it. You can use the lapis. You can use the cactus green. Make green wool. You can use any of these dyes. You can use bone meal. I had thought that you could use bone meal to bleach an existing color back to white. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So there's really no point in applying it. You can use it on white wool to make white wool, which is just a waste of bone meal, as far as I can tell. And but you can use any of these others. You can use the ink sac on white wool to make more black wool. And like I say, once cocoa beans have been added to the game, then you can create brown wool as well. But like I say, currently you cannot obtain these normally in the game. Okay, well, as far as coloring sheep goes, it's pretty cool. You can make different colored sheep just by right-clicking them with your die in hand. Let's find one that we can make blue, and green. We're gonna have rainbow-colored sheep here. Come here, sheep. Yeah. Make a yellow one. Yellow. Let's make some orange. Orange. Red. Alright. Do we have a candidate for purple? Any purple candidates here? Alright. Even if not... Oh, there's one. There we go. Come on. Get back here. There we go. Purple. Awesome. We have a bunch of Skittles sheep. Now, unlike wool, you can recolor a sheep with that's already been colored. Doesn't matter. So I just messed up my Skittle sheep. But yeah. And then, of course, once the sheep has been colored, you can punch them for colored wool, which is more efficient because you can get up to 3 blocks of colored wool for basically each bit of dye that you use. But it's a little more work to do. And that pretty much covers most or all of the updates. I guess one thing I didn't really show was that some of the tools, their durability has been increased. But for the most part, that should cover all of the updates in the new beta 1.2 update of Minecraft.